My name is Dr. Jeffrey John West. I am a chiropractor by trade. I've got 2 integrated health centers where we also look for the cause. I started out in engineering for 2 years, and that's where you went the scientific method, right? Where you go looking for things that work. And I decided to get into chiropractic and I get into healthcare, and I start talking to people, the PhDs and people in healthcare, and they said, oh, no, the scientific method doesn't apply to people because we're too variable, right? Mm-hmm. And right there, I could smell a rat. I said, something doesn't make sense, because in biology, which is the study of life and living things, obviously you can apply the scientific method to that. And aren't we living things? Right. Flash forward to 2008, my whole world was just wonderful. I got married the woman of my dreams, had a baby on the way, did my first triathlon, expanded to a second practice. Everything was just absolutely amazing. And then I got a phone call one day from my business partner saying he wanted out of the business. So we had to, work on a business divorce to separate everything. When I was training for the triathlon, I had a mole that was growing on my arm. And when you're sitting on a bike like this, you have your arms in front of you and everything, the road in front, and I kept looking at this mole getting larger as I'm on the bicycle all summer long riding. And I figured, well, let me get the triathlon done, I'll get it checked out. So I ended up getting it checked out within weeks after going through the business divorce. And it turned out to be stage 4 malignant melanoma. And if anybody knows anything about that, it's got about an 85 to 90% death rate in 10 years. It's been 15 for me. Make a long story short, I didn't like what I saw in medicine. My friend was an alternative type of family doctor. He's the one that diagnosed it. He sent me to his friends and colleagues, and I could not stand the type of healthcare that I saw in front of me. My daughter was born a few weeks after that, and then a few weeks after that, I was in a 65-mile-an-hour car accident, which left me whiplash, concussed. Then a few weeks after that, we got audited by the IRS. It was literally 4 months of absolute hell. So, needless to say, I got through it all. I'm in much better shape now, but that put me on a path of discovery. I had to figure the cancer out. I was not going to not be there for my daughter at her 10th birthday. Right. So I went on a deep dive, a deep discovery, trying to figure out, number one, why did I get it? When the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? So I ended up meeting, as a patient in the clinic, a brilliant scientist, a self-taught microbiology scientist, someone who's not been taught in the institutions of the United States. But he liked what I did. So then I asked him what he did, and he just started talking about fermented probiotics for agriculture. And I said, well, I'm very interested in probiotics. I know everybody needs probiotics because of the antibiotic world back then, the overprescription of antibiotics. And so I tested his product on my garden in our house. Probiotics either come in freeze-dried or liquid fermented ones. The liquid fermented ones needed to be put into a refrigerated truck to transport to farms between 37 and 43 degrees. So it had its shortcomings. And I kept getting on his case. I'm like, you need to come into the human world. We need your brilliance in our world. And he started doing some research. So he kept telling me that if I could just figure out how to take this dense liquid that would fit into a tractor trailer tanker to ship off the farms, if I could just spray it dry somehow, game over, because then it becomes very easy to ship. And he figured that out. And then I got real excited, because then we were like, all right, let's do something for human use. And as he was figuring out how to spray it dry, he started using carbon dioxide instead of nitrogen in a freeze dryer. He's just a brilliant scientist, so he tinkered with it and got it to work. And so then I texted my scientist back and I said, we have something, buddy, let's put this on the market.